I got this, like I said, 89. I was in high school at the time.
Mhm.
I think I was in high school. I remember someone had said to me, and I would probably agree with them, that this was almost a not almost, this was a perfect record. And he said it was a perfect driving album. Pop this in your cassette deck. I don't even know if we had CDs back then. Pop this in your cassette deck in your car. Go for a nice long 40-minute drive. How long is the album? It doesn't say. Oh, wait, 39 minutes. Go for a 39-minute drive. Great album to go driving to. You know why? Oh, ballads. Not a single ballad on this record. I love it.
I knew that you would do that. I knew you would say that. It is. It really is. It just doesn't stop. And boy, oh boy.
Actually, and the other thing that I was going to say, X-Center gets compared an awful lot to AC/DC. And they were on, I know, I saw a clip somewhere on with X-Center asking him about that. He says, you guys sounded an awful lot like AC/DC. Was that intentional? Was that just because AC/DC is one of your main influences? Where's that come from type of thing? And they tried to downplay that. This is, first of all, no. This is, we're not trying to sound like AC/DC. Although I think they did. But here's my point on the comparisons. Said, and I think it was Rex Scott they were talking to. Anyways, he says something about, we just like playing hard rock and roll, and this is the music that we make. This is the Rock and Metal Faith Podcast.
Woohoo!
All right. Welcome to the Rock and Metal Faith Podcast, the ever improving Rock and Metal Faith Podcast. We'll get into that in just a sec. Welcome if you are a first time listener, and welcome back if you've been around for a while. Thanks for sticking around, and thanks for listening to us. And your first time listener, we hope you stick around and listen. I am your host, Arin Rockman Hancock, joined by my co-host, Kris Plamondon. How you doing, Kris?
I am doing well. I am ready to rock and roll.
All right.
Okay, maybe not roll, but rock.
Oh, we're going to rock. You know what? Not only are we back, well, we never went anywhere, but X-Center is back. And we're going to talk about that in a few moments. First, we got a little bit of news to get into. We've got a new follower of us on Facebook. So thanks for signing up and following us on Facebook. We have Jer Chapeta Tia. Sorry if I boggled your last name there. So yes, we have a Facebook page and a Facebook group page. For those of you who have not done so, I encourage you to sign up, follow us there, as well as everywhere else you follow your favorite podcast.
What are you waiting for? Sign up.
There you go. Yes. And I'm going to try and encourage people to be more active on our pages by doing more things. I'll be posting polls, questions, and whatever. I'll also let people know upcoming episodes. Maybe I'll do a sneak peek of what's coming out before it comes out and all that. Yeah. Yeah. And you said we got new followers or subscriber there, Kris?
Yes, I do. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Perry, who is a subscriber now and checking us out. So he's probably a couple episodes behind. So by the time he gets here, welcome, buddy. Love you. Stay tuned.
There you go. Yes. And this is, like I said, the Rock and Metal Faith Podcast. You can get us on all your favorite podcast platforms. Although if you're listening, I'm sure you have found us. So don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And leave comments or reviews because we like to hear from you. We do have a couple comments. Uh, one guy who's actually comments every so often, and it's through YouTube at Jeffrey Beam 2709. He commented on our Kerry Womack episode. He says, "I am a fan. You guys rock." Thanks, Jeffrey.
That's got to be the highlight of the year.
We don't like to toot our own horn, but we like it when you guys toot our horn for us. I hope that didn't sound wrong.
Thank you for the compliment. We appreciate it.
Yes, and as I said in the intro, this is the ever improving Rock and Metal Faith podcast. We had a couple of hiccups, technical glitches with our Kerry Womack episode, but we managed to get it out. A few technical things that maybe I should have figured out before we did the episode. Unfortunately, we didn't, and I got that sorted out as we carry on forth. There will also be a few changes coming as we figure out how to do things better or what works better. If there's anything you guys like about the episode, let us know. Anything you guys don't like that we should get rid of, let us know too. Oh, which reminds me too, when I do these bonus episodes once a month or every so often with the birthdays for the month, I did get a comment on that saying yes. So I'm guessing that that person likes the birthday episodes. We'll keep those going. And those are just short little bonus episodes, usually around the beginning of the month. So stay tuned because December's coming up. We'll have to get another one out shortly in December for that. All right. Some news. We got new music coming out by other bands as well as X Center. New music soon to come out from Petra. They've got new merchandise out right now as of the recording of this. Pre-orders for their new CD and they're in bundles. So you can get the CD and shirt and CD vinyl and shirt. You can get different versions of the package and double up the package so you can share it with somebody else who maybe can't afford one. But Petra is going to be back next year. New album, new tour as well.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be really, really busy.
Wow. Was it 50
It's
plus years?
yeah, like I mean, "Deliver Us" is wow. It's a rocking song. I mean,
It's not bad. I wouldn't call it a rockin' song.
I
It's not a
think it's
ballad.
rocking.
It's not a ballad, but it's definitely no fired up, put it that
It's
way.
no in Petra. It Petra.
Yeah.
It's not like what we're about to talk about. That's going to blow your
Yes.
socks off. You know.
And we've got new music, well, new Christmas music from Striper coming out. They released I can't remember the name of it. One song. Ba- Basically it sounds like a rock song that is Christmas themed. It's a brand new song, not a traditional song. I've had a little listen to it only once or twice. I've been busy with other stuff. Sounds not bad. Might be worth getting the album. Sounds like it's not going to be just your traditional Christmas hymns, but other songs that will have a little bit of a Christmas theme to it. And Skillet has come up with a new Christmas song. Have you heard
I
this
was
one?
going to bring that up. Good man.
Have you
It,
heard the Have you heard the song?
I listened to the song. Wow, it's pretty cool. It's pretty
Not
cool.
bad. You know what? They should have kicked it in the heavy gear, I think, earlier than what they did.
Yes,
It's a,
yes. But if you see John's interview about it, because he was criticized about it, did you see that?
no, I haven't seen that. What did he
So
say?
okay, so some grandma on Facebook put up a post, right? You're laughing already. She says, "Why does it have to be so demonic?" And I'm like,
Oh, I did see something about that. Yes.
okay,
What was his
yeah.
response to that? I know he responded to it.
I was well. I like what John's comment was. The response to it was he explained that this was a song about it for his kid, and his kid said, "Well, Dad, you rock, you play music. Can you make it something that you would do?" something like that. I'm
R
paraphrasing.
right,
And he said, "Sure, sweet." I guess he told his manager about the song, and he said, "Sure, why not record it?" And wow, I mean, I responded to that lady's comment about all that. Like, what's demonic about it? Like, did demons come out of their speaker? Yeah, I was just asking, and I was being polite, and I said, we all have different tastes and different
right,
genres. We have talked about that in length here on the Rock and Metal Faith podcast. And I said, not everybody wants their music slow, and I understand that it's Christmas, but come on, let your grandkids enjoy a little bit of fun.
right.
Like the
Oh, yeah,
song, the word. If I said, if you listen to their words, it's Christ centered like 100%. Like it's awesome.
right. Um, yeah, and you know what? Skillet is not the first band to do something like this. Back in the day, Can I Get a Joke? What a Joke by Deliverance. They did something like this with Silent Night. And the first verse was all nice and traditional, slow,
And
and
then,
yeah, and then it goes, "Sleep in heaven, Eastern," and then the drums and the heavy guitars kick in, and then just kick it up a notch. And actually, that brings to mind one more thing in the news while we're talking new music and talking about Deliverance. George Ochoa, who is a guitarist for Deliverance, he also has a side project with brand new album out under the band name Worldview. Has just come out with a brand new album,
oh,
and it's really good. First, it was only available on CD. He's now released it to Spotify. Definitely worth checking out, and it may
and
eventually
that's
hit.
worldview.
Yeah, I think Invincible is the name of the new record. By the time this episode gets released, it should be out everywhere. People were asking about Apple, if it's on Apple, and he said it's coming.
I'll have to
So
look.
that's one I was hoping to buy, but I just can't afford the shipping to Canada once you factor in the US exchange rates. The shipping is about as much as the disc, and I have a limit on how much I'm going to pay for a disc. Put it that
Yeah,
way.
for sure, for sure.
I might.
It's it's a difficult issue. I mean, I can understand it's Christmas, right? That we're coming into that season and everybody wants it like they grew up with,
Well,
right?
yeah. Well, I'm always supportive for buying the CDs, but the price has to be affordable and practical. Put it that way. Uh,
I'm scared to buy a CD because, well, one, I don't have anything to play it with because
you know what? Go out to the pawn shop and buy one.
that's what my mom teased me about. She's like, we might have to go out looking for you to buy a new one. I'm like, and on YouTube, some other podcaster like us, he put out a video about why CDs are still important.
Oh yes,
So I
and
thought that's interesting.
I plan on buying CDs when I can. Anyways, we should get into X Center. I had done a poll on the Facebook. This is where our Facebook group site comes in, and we got a little bit of response from other sites too, because I did a poll on a couple of the sites as well. I got one comment on our Facebook site from, oh gee, I'm just gonna say Steven because I'm sorry I cannot understand or pronounce the first part of your name. Um, I'm not sure if that's his last name and Steven's his first, but anyways, so the response was just asking everybody their favorite X Sinner song, and he replied with "Lift Him Up." So that's not a bad
Yes,
song. That's a good song. And
lift them up.
a few of the other responses we were getting was Medicine, Living on the Edge, Looks like a lot of the responses were coming from the first record, so that must be everybody's favorite record. We'll get into that right now with a little bit of history, I guess, before we talk about our favorite picks. X Center was formed in 1988. That was also the same year that the first record came out. We had Greg Bishop on guitars, David Robbins on vocals, who was only there for the first record. Then we had Rob Knepp on bass, or is it Knipe on bass? Anyways, and Michael Buckner on drums. That was produced by John and Dino Elefante and stuff. So big name producers on that
Two
one.
legends in the
Yeah.
Christian recording industry.
Although I wasn't impressed with the production of it, going back and listening to it now, like it sounds a little muddled in my my view, put it that way.
Is Do we know if the new stuff? It's not by John, and it's another guy, right?
Yeah, as far as I can figure out, and I was trying to look that up just before we started recording, and as far as I can figure out, it was written, produced, engineered all by Exeter themselves. And there again, I still don't know if that was the best production. I know a lot of times when we look back at the music that we grew up with, and people will say, "Well, it wasn't as good as the mainstream or the secular counterparts. It wasn't as good as other bands. Was A lot of bands were out there, but they just weren't as great. They weren't putting out great product." I think for most of the bands, the songs were there. The songs were good. The performances were probably good and were there. I think where a lot of bands fell flat was in the production. And maybe
And that we have to remember the time that they recorded it, what was going on. Like, I mean, for 1989 that they made it,
yes.
right? It was
Yeah.
89.
Well,
Yeah, so that's
first one was 1988. But yes.
yeah,
Uh
like that was just right in the middle of the cassette era, I guess, right? Like,
oh yeah.
yeah,
Um cuz I had and that's got nothing to do with it, but this is the old style recording, but that doesn't mean anything in production wise. You know,
that's right.
there are a lot of great bands putting out a lot of great sounding stuff in that time frame too. So,
And it's not horrible. It's not like
no.
you could barely hear them. Like,
No. And we'll talk about that, the difference between each of the albums as we get into it. Actually, and the other thing that I was gonna say, Exeter gets compared an awful lot to AC/DC, and they were on, I know I saw a clip somewhere on the social medias. I can't remember if it was TikTok or one of the other social medias. And people need to figure out, I think, how to link their. Don't put the link in the bio because I can't find it. There's a video podcast or something out there talking to them, and I thought this is cool. If they do more of this, I would listen to them. I don't know where they are, but anyways, they had a clip from one of the band members with Exeter asking him about that. He says, "You guys sound an awful lot like AC/DC. Was that intentional? Was that just because AC/DC is one of your main influences? Where does that come from?" Type of thing. And they tried to downplay that. This is, first of all, no. This is, we're not trying to sound like AC/DC. Although I think they did. But here's my point on the comparisons. And what he said, and I think it was Rex Scott they were talking to. Anyways, he says something about, "We just like playing hard rock and roll, and this is the music that we make." And yes, now anytime you get electrified, amped up, blues driven, 3-chord rock and roll, which is exactly what X Center is, and that's exactly how I would describe AC/DC. So that's why they get that comparison. And there were a lot of other bands playing the same style. So it wasn't just that they sound like AC/DC. There were a lot of other bands playing the exact same style being compared to AC/DC as well. I think X Center may have been the only Christian band with this style of format. So that kind of set them apart in the Christian market.
Yeah,
The other
that's
thing
right.
too,
And
I was going to say is a lot of people will argue they don't sound like AC/DC. They only sound like that because of the rasp in the singer's voice. You take that away, they sound more like Def Leppard. And yes, there were moments where they sound like Def Leppard. You gotta also remember too, in the early albums with Def Leppard, they were trying to be a cross between AC/DC and Queen. So if they
yeah,
sound like Def Leppard, they're going to have that AC/DC sound in there too. And not to harp on the comparison, like I said, anytime you have that 3-chord hard driving blues, and a lot of the riffs are blues riffs, you just electrify them, amp them up, speed them up, and there you go. So X Sinner, 1989, and the cover, the cover was okay. It's just a simple cover. It's got band up against looks like a brick wall, and looks like a spray painted logo. Nothing fancy, but not horrible either. All right. So before we get into my picks, here's my thoughts on it. I got this, like I said, 89. I was in high school at the time.
hmm
I remember someone said to me, and I would probably agree with them, that this was not almost, this was a perfect record. And he said it was a perfect driving album. You pop this in your cassette deck. I don't even know if we had CDs back then. Pop this in your cassette deck in your car, go for a nice long 40-minute drive. How long is the album? It doesn't say. Oh, wait, 39 minutes. Go for a 39-minute drive. Great album to go driving to. You know why? No ballads. Not a single ballad on this record. I love it.
I knew that you would do that. I knew you would say that. It is. It really is. It just doesn't stop. And boy, oh boy,
So I had asked you to pick 3 songs from each record that were your favorites. So from the first album, Get It, what do you got? Your favorites?
lift him up.
Got me running away from you, not knowing what I should do. All my thoughts are so blown apart. What I need is a brand new start. You gotta dig down inside you. Dig down inside. Oh, lift him up. Lift him up. It's what you gotta do. Lift him up. Lift him up. Walking home through the park today. Had a friend who was flying away. Some Bible slinger with guts to spare. A testimony that he could share. You gotta dig down inside. You gotta dig down inside you. Down inside. Lift him up. Lift him up. It's what you gotta do. Lift him up. Lift him up. It's what you gotta do.
All right. That was Lift Him Up.
That was awesome. I was waiting for the guitar solo. Come
Yeah.
on.
we didn't go as far as the solos.
I know. Yeah.
Um,
Well, that's what
and
we should
well,
have done. Oh, that is the Rock and Metal Faith Podcast core.
well, we did that one time when we were talking about the top guitarists. We talked about the top 100 guitarists, and all our music clips were just the solos from certain songs.
hmm
Um,
Oh yeah, that's a good song. And then I forget what the first one was on that
Medicine,
album.
Medicine.
Medicine's pretty good. And not River's Edge. I was thinking of Cross Section there for a second. Oh my god! But the
Uh,
third one, what
Third
was
one,
that?
Hearts on Fire,
That's okay. Not my
or
favorite.
right, Living on the Edge.
That's what I'm looking for. Oh, I love that song. I
Yeah, that's the
wish I
last one.
living on the edge. Yeah.
That's not bad. And So for the first record, Get It, it's really easy to say, yeah, you had this one too. Medicine as a favorite. I'm sure that's a crowd favorite. I'm sure that's a fan favorite. It's a great song. The only thing I got against it is the lyrics, because I'm going, is this just a regular rock song? Is this a Christian song? It's really about song about someone sick needing medicine.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
I don't
like
know if
it.
I don't know if there's a metaphor there or not,
No.
but it's a great song. It's got some great riffs in it. And you know what? Trying to find my three favorite off this, it was hard to narrow it down to three. Every time I listen to them, I'm like, oh, this is a great song. This should be on my list. Oh, this is a great song. This should be on my list. You know, trying to narrow it down to three was tough. But I think I'll go with the second one, Stepping on Toes. Or
Yes.
was I going to say, I don't know, it's not easy to say what the other two are. I know one of the ones I want to say for my top three picks off this is Walking Evil. And I think that was another favorite too in one of the Facebook groups. It's a great song. It's a song basically describing the enemy, the spiritual enemy. And it makes my Halloween playlist because it talks about, yeah, of what it talks about, our spiritual enemy. And he goes around trying to deceive us, but we know he's just walking evil. So yeah, I don't know, Stepping on Toes, or I don't know, No Way In is good. You know, I don't know, maybe I'll change Stepping on Toes and change it to No Way In. That's a good one too.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not a bad song either. Yeah, you can't be wrong with any of them, really. Like,
No, I'm with you. Like I said, it's hard to narrow it down to just three.
I still remember in the old days when Terry was running the show and how popular some of those songs were that we were playing. I'd have to rush in the other room and grab the cassette again, rewind it.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have wore that out. All right.
I'm still trying to find the old songs so I could download them, and they're not really out there.
No, they're not. Yet it wasn't available like for the longest time. Like we had with Doug Van Pelt when he was on talking about music industry, where the secular industry will keep certain bands' albums in circulation all the time, knowing that they're going to sell, even if even if they're 20, 40 years old, they know certain bands are still going to sell. They're always creating new fans. The Christian industry doesn't do that, and once a record has done its run and isn't selling anymore, that's usually it. Unless someone wants to pick up the rights and sell them like Girder does, they're hard to get. Now, through Bandcamp, you can get a digital download of the first X Sinner record. If you, I don't know what it costs, but that is available on Bandcamp. Okay, so what did we figure out for my favorite songs for Get It? We had Medicine, Walking Evil, and then I think, yeah, I'll go with you as well, and we'll say Lift Them Up. I don't know, it's so hard to decide. All right, moving on to Peace Treaty. Let's talk about cover. And again, it's just a simple cover. It's got the band, only they're kind of squished halfway on the cover. I've got the cassette version of it, if anybody remembers cassettes. And the logo is up the side of the cover. Again, a spray painted logo, very simple. They did this little icon. It's supposed to be some kind of peace icon, I suppose. But anyways, so that's my thoughts on the cover, and we'll move into info on Peace Treaty. Peace Treaty. The second album by X Sinner came out in 1991. This time we got Rex Scott on vocals. He also plays a little bit of guitar. I don't know if he played guitar on this record or not. I know currently he'll play rhythm guitars with the band. We had Greg Bishop on guitars, played bass on the record, and Mike Buckner, again, still on drums with this one. This one had a bit of a different sound to it, Peace Treaty,
Mhm.
but I liked it. I think I liked it best out of the 3 of theirs, actually, just because of production was probably the best on this one.
I couldn't really listen to Peace Treaty for whatever reason. The file I got, it just didn't work. So
That's
that was
strange.
frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah, and then disappointing part about this is Peace Treaty and Get It are not on any of the streaming services. They do have but they do have a record out there, right, with some of the songs. It's like a greatest hits, the best of
Yeah, a
between.
compilation.
Yeah, and they've been redone too. I noticed because I listened to a little bit of that the sounds on that were different or sounding different than what they did on Peace Street. Now, the arrangement was still there, the vocals and the words were still there, but they added more distortion on the guitars and all that, which I found. So, did you have any picks off Peace Treaty? You said you had trouble hearing it. Do you have anything off here that you liked or that you know?
From the second album.
Yes.
I only heard the first song. I liked the first song a lot, but that was about it.
Okay.
That was
Well, here's what I got. I got Rolling Thunder.
hmm,
I think that's a great song. That is also on their other album. It's called Fire It Up is the name of
fired
their,
up.
which is, not a bad record. Like I said, that's a greatest, I would call it a greatest hits because they had the best of the first 2 records on there, although I don't think Medicine's on there. So maybe it's not a best of. Here's a snippet from Rolling Thunder. So if you haven't heard Rolling Thunder, check this out. So there you go. That's a snippet of Rolling Thunder off of their Peace Treaty record.
That
Probably,
sounded very cool. Very cool.
yeah. And I think that again, that what makes that probably my favorite was you had the high energy guitars, you had the overdriven guitars, but it wasn't heavy on the distortion side. I think with Get It and even with World Covered in Blood and even they cranked the distortion up. And I know a lot of people will do this. I don't want to harp on the comparisons, but I know a lot of people, home guitarists, will try and do this, trying to play AC/DC. They want to crank that distortion up. You don't need a lot of distortion to play AC/DC. X Center, I think, would sound a whole lot better, especially on record, or especially on the recording, if they would turn that distortion down a bit. Go with this kind of sound more. The vocals are a little bit more hearable. I think with World Covered in Blood, they get drowned out a little bit. On a recording, you want the vocals clear so you can hear them. In live
Yes.
setting, they're usually drowned out, and World Covered in Blood sounds more like a live setting than a recording.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, totally. But still a good song. I think X Sinner does a great job titling their songs that are really catchy. You know, the titles of it, they're all really good.
Short and sweet, a lot of times, nothing too complicated about their lyrics, but sometimes that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so I like Rolling Thunder. That's a good one. I Take Power was a good song. And then it was kind of hard to pick or narrow down to a third one. I would say maybe Get Ya, which was kind of cool. Get Ya has kind of a cool little funky riff to it.
And it's too bad a lot of these songs back in the day, if they were promoted properly, wow, they would have compared right with the mainstream. Like
I think
really.
so. Yeah. Well, and that was the whole problem. Well, yes and no. Remember, you had bands like Striper getting flack from both sides.
Hmm.
They were getting flack from the Christians because they were heavy metal. They're getting flack from the metalheads because they were too Christian.
Yeah.
And
You can't win, right? Like,
no, so you get that. Although that brings up a point too. I saw something the other day about Christian artists being promoted with the mainstream artists, with the secular artists. I think it's the idea that some of these other artists are taking notice of them and bringing them along on tour and all this. Skillet gets to you know tour with mainstream artists, and I think that's a great thing. I know back in the day, Saint has done that too. They got to play, I think, with some of these other heavier bands that were mainstream bands and all. I think it's great.
yeah, that's a great idea. Totally. Give them some exposure and experience. I mean,
Y- Yeah. And for those out there, that are all about, promoting the gospel. Well, who do you want to promote the gospel to? You want to promote it to these other bands as fans, don't you?
that's right. Like, who would you rather have them hang out with, Poison or Exeter? You
Yeah,
know,
it's like that old saying, they can go around and play churches, but all you're doing is preaching to the choir.
yeah. Like, and I think that's one of the issues why, right? We went back earlier in the podcast to talk about the whole skillet, right, where the grandma
Yeah.
freaked out
Oh,
and
right. Yeah.
said, right, that she didn't like it because she thought it was too demonic. Well, come on, like it's all what it's about what you're into, right?
Yeah.
God
Well,
God doesn't get mad at you. He's not going to get mad at me and you when we get to heaven at different times, right? And Kris, Arin, you guys had a podcast, and it was heavy metal. I don't think he's going to be mad at us that we promoted White Cross, some of the others.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. And that was the problem with bands. Well, right from Striper, well, even before Striper, Rez went through that. Petro went through that. Bloodgood went through that. You
Yeah.
know, trying and get flack from both sides and all, or especially from the Christian side. It's kind of too bad. But all right, moving right along now, I guess. World Covered in Blood. Did you listen to any of this record? This was I sent you
I
the
liked it all. I
Spotify.
was, I like,
You like the whole
we
thing?
have
Okay.
nothing to talk about.
You're making this a short podcast, Kris.
Sorry. I could make something up.
Well, so you like you can probably like the first three songs, because those would be the first
There-
three I rattle off.
There's got to be a song on there that was a ballad that you can talk about.
Oh, well, before we leave, Peace Treaty. That was the only downside to Peace Treaty. There were two
Ah,
ballads on that one.
well, there you go.
Let's go back to Peace Treaty for a second here. Okay. Actually, you know what? I realized listening to something, I was missing a song. Where's my Peace Treaty record? Because yeah, a while back there, I had digitized my cassettes and put them on my computer, which was great, and I thought I'd done that with them all. I've moved computers around a few times. Thought I transferred all the files over. In the process of transferring files, I find every once in a while some song is lost somewhere. I'm missing one of the songs off of Peace Treaty. but I'm not too worried about it because it's "Don't Go," the last song off the record, and it's one of the ballads. I'm not missing it.
If anyone is connected to X Center, give a call to Aaron. He needs that song.
No. I do have, what was the other one? The other ballad, "Hold On." Seriously, how many songs do we need titled "Hold On"? And you know what? Rain and Glory came out with a new record. The first song on there is called "Hold On" too. That's not bad though. At least that's a rocker. This one is by X Sinner. This is about, it's a love song to his wife, girlfriend, whoever she is at the time, but hanging on because he's in a traveling music band and all this. Just hold on. It- I'm like, seriously, do I need to listen to this?
Come on. You know what they say is we get older, usually our music declines, right? We usually get me and you,
Yeah,
we're beating that persona, you know?
I was gonna say, tell that to Striper continue to put out heavier and heavier albums here every
I
time.
know. I know.
Uh,
And I mean some of the yeah, like
you know what? I think that's one of the things I got to do to improve this podcast is maybe lay out an outline where we're going each episode, because we're all over the place this episode, but that's okay. We have fun talking about the music.
yeah, oops, we were trying to stick on topic.
Well, we're on topic. It
We
just
are, yeah,
we're
we are totally.
we're
Yeah.
we're back and forth across all the albums, which
Yeah.
is all right. We're having general discussion about X Sinner, favorite tracks from X Sinner. Um, what else we got here? So, World Covered in Blood. This man. So we had 89, 91 for Get It, Peace Treaty, and then nothing until 2008. World Covered in Blood came out in 2008. That's like, I can't do the math. What is that? That's over 10 years. that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's like almost 20. That's almost 20 years actually. It's
20
probably about
years ago.
17 years. In between.
I bought Get It, and I think 5, 6 years later I lost it. And I wore the tape out because it was so good. I just
Right.
couldn't, I just loved it. I loved the song like there. And there was something that in the Christian community you've never heard.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think I got my first copy, probably discovered it through the bookstores. You walk in, what's out,
Mhm.
check out some stuff I hadn't heard before. Oh wow, I gotta get it. I gotta get this. Yes.
Yes, I heard it at the Bible bookstore too, as well, in the West End, and the headphones on and like smiled. And my dad's like, "What?" And he listened to it. He's like, "Yeah, yeah, I kind of thought you would like it." And I remember the nice lady at the cashier. I bought it. She's like, young man, a lot of young people your age are coming in and buying that set. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I think Get It might be one of those desert album, perfect albums. Uh, like I said earlier, not a ballad on this thing. This is a damn good album. Oh, sorry, I don't know if I should say this is a real good album.
We should do an episode of Aaron's favorite ballads.
We did one first year. Uh,
Oh, we did. Okay, so go back and listen to that.
no, 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 no! Don't go back. That was a horrible horribly produced episode.
Well, wait.
It
Let's
was.
finish watching this one. This one's a great episode.
And that one was horribly produced. You know, well, maybe we should revisit some of those bad episodes and redo them. That might be a thought for down the road. Uh, I've actually had that thought kicking around the back of my mind. If I ever run out of ideas, we'll revisit some of the badly done episodes and try and make them better.
Well, do that after the new year. Yeah.
Well, I still got lots of ideas for the upcoming year. Anyways, back to World Covered in Blood. Like I said, this came out in 2008. So we're talking 90 to 2000. 2008. This is about 17 years apart. I think I didn't even realize when this first came out that it was out. This was at a time where it was stuff was I think a lot of the bookstores had gone, a lot of the normal ways of promoting music had gone.
Yep.
Early 2000s, I think internet, Facebook were slowly getting going. I can't remember the time frame. I know there was a period of time where I kind of dropped out of the Christian scene just because I didn't know what was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
In the mid to late 90s, I didn't like a lot of stuff that was coming out anyways, and we'll get into that. We'll talk about that down the road. Anyway, so this came out. This had Greg Bishop on guitars, Rex Scott again on vocals, also doing some of the guitars and drums on the record. I don't know who played with them live, if they did any live dates for this. I know currently the band, like I said, has a new record out, and current lineup is still Greg Bishop, Rex Scott on vocals and guitars. The two of them play guitars. Rex does the vocals. I've got Jason Ellsworth doing live bass and Tommy Bozong doing live drums. So this is the band you will see if you see them live. They've done a few dates. I think done a few of the festivals in the summer. Possibly the band that they had in if they ever did any live dates for World Covered in Blood. But back in 2008, it looked like it was just Greg and Rex writing, doing all the instruments. And as far as I can figure out, this was recorded and produced by X Sinners. So probably Greg and Rex did all the work on this, all the playing on this, and brought in other musicians to do live dates. This was there any ballads on this? I don't think there was any ballads on this record. So here we go, back to hard driven rock and roll, crank up the distortion, and let's go. At the start of the episode, you heard a cut of, after our theme song, you heard a cut of the first track, Back in Red. Great song. Great lead-off song, I think. I'm not really sure. The only problem with this record is I can't hear and understand any of the vocals. So I don't know too much what the songs are about unless it was evident in the title. I don't know what Back in Red is about. The only downside is it makes me think of, now musically it doesn't sound like the song at all, but the title makes me think of Back in Black by AC/DC.
Right. Okay.
Trying to think of what 3 songs I picked off of this one. I picked, I went with Back in Red. It's a good opening song. The second track is pretty good too, called What Rock Is For.
Yeah, it's a good
And
song. Yeah.
and I would go with Forgive Them. And basically
Ooh.
what I was trying to do was, what songs, the whole album sounds great to me. So then I'm going, what songs kind of stand out in my mind? What Rock Is For, sounds like, basic rock and roll song, but it had a great riff to it. They all had this great little riff to it. I think that's what it was Forgive 'Em had a memorable riff in my mind. What Rock Is For had a memorable riff, so that's why I went with that. Here's a snippet from What Rock Is For. So there you go, a little snippet of what rock is for.
Very
Um,
awesome. Go check it out to you people that are listening out there. That'd be awesome.
and that brings up 3 new songs from X Sinner available in Bandcamp. They got a new record coming out, uh, going out with a bang. What do you think about that?
Wow. I stumbled. I think you gave it to me, and I stumbled on it. I'm like, wow, because what we're talking about today, that's only what, a 4-song release, right? 3-song release.
Yes.
Okay.
But and that will be out by the time that this episode comes out. The full album will be out basically, like, probably today as we're recording or a
Oh,
day.
okay. When I looked at it, didn't allow me to look at the other songs.
Yeah. Well, same thing, because at the time that I sent you the link, only 3
That's
songs
right.
were available, but all 3
Yeah.
of them sound great. Really, it sounds like if you like X Sinner, you're gonna like the new songs. There's no surprises there. They haven't changed direction, haven't, you know, gone jazz or anything like this. They haven't gone country.
It's funny when I first listened to it, it blew my mind because I was like, wait a minute, I was gonna text you and be like, you sent me AC/DC stuff. What are you doing to me? And then and like you just said a few minutes ago, right? How they were characterized, but so I thought that, I mean, but then I realized who they were, who it was, just by the
Yeah,
voice. I'm
right.
like, no, that's not AC/DC or whatever his name is. Yeah. So I knew it was Exeter.
Yeah, I was just having a quick look here on my post on Facebook there, seeing if there was any songs mentioned that we hadn't mentioned. And after 2, favorite Exeter song, we got the usual stuff. Someone said "Living on the Edge," but really it's a tough question. "Walking Evil," which I mentioned, that's a great song. I like listening to that around Halloween every year. Someone else mentioned "Rolling Thunder," "Don't Go." Again, you know, I did hear "Don't Go." It's on that Fired Up album, so I did listen to it. It's not bad as far as a ballad goes. I don't know if it's a true ballad. Lyric wise, it's a good song because it's dealing. To me, it sounds like it's dealing with suicide and telling the person not to do it, don't go, hang on, type of thing like that. So in that respect, I think lyrically it's written good, and it kind of starts off slow and does build up a little bit, but um, so that's my take on "Don't Go."
That's awesome.
Over
Yeah.
overall, best songs of X Center seems to be coming off the first record. Definitely "Medicine." Um, Whether it's a Christian song or not, it doesn't really matter. It's just a great hard rocking song.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You got any thoughts on X Center or any other songs you want to mention?
No, are we talking about the new ones that came out?
Yeah, we can talk about that. Let me call up here. It's on
I like the
Bandcamp.
first 3. The second one I like. Oh, what's it called? Um,
Let me just call it Win or Lose.
yes, Win or Lose. That's my favorite out of them. I think that has some great guitar riffs in there. Like it's just
All right.
awesome.
Yeah, I've listened to the first 3 songs a couple times. Um,
I
I
like
listened
Coming
to I
Out
think
with a Bang. That was awesome for a Christian group. To me, that single itself, I would promote. That's what Christian music is. I
you're
mean,
probably thinking, yeah, you're probably thinking of the song "Light You Up." The album is called "Going Out with a Bang,"
isn't that
and
their new album?
that's the name of the record, is "Going Out with a Bang."
Right.
The first song is titled "Light You Up,"
Light You Up. That's right. That's
so
wow.
that's probably what you were thinking of.
That's right. Like,
Yeah. I've had, I listened to it. I haven't really absorbed the songs yet. I've listened to it a couple times, and then Bandcamp says, "Well, you ran out of your free trial on this. Now you got to buy the record to listen to
yeah.
it."
I was
So
I gotta find a way to download it too.
yeah, you'll have to purchase it, and then
Yeah.
you can get the downloads once you purchased it. This might be my
Okay.
list to get. There's a few things I need to get kind of before this, but this might actually make my list of favorite records for this past year. Uh, and that'll probably
Well,
be
then I'll
coming out
wait for
next.
you to get it, and then you could share it with your buddy.
There you go. The old file sharing like we used to do back in the day, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, back in the day, we couldn't do that, right? It was if you liked the
Well, yeah,
cassette, I couldn't. That was the end of it,
well, back
right?
in the day, you had your buddy buy it, and then he would dub the cassette into a blank cassette.
And if it was sold out, I had to special order it, and that took months. Oh, it was annoying.
And now you gotta wait for
Now I
the.
gotta wait.
Now you can't even go. You can't even go to the store now and buy it. Now you gotta order it off the band site and wait. Now, at least with Xcenter, they have a digital download available to buy from Bandcamp. That when it is out, you can go ahead and get it right away. Most places, and I think they're kind of smart doing this because most people are into digital format over the physical format. There are a lot of people that still like the physical format though too, and I try and get the physical when I can. I'm kind of mixed. I've got digital formats, I've got physical formats, so I'm all over the place with how I consume my music.
Right on. Yeah, right
All right.
here on the Rock and Metal Faith podcast, we're talking about X
Yes.
Center.
Yeah. Newer record called "Going Out with a Bang." I wonder if the title is alluding to the fact this might be the final record for them. I don't know.
To me, I almost thought, what is this, their last album? Like,
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
yeah,
Not necessarily, but
but the
you
title,
never
come
know.
on. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so that's our episode. I don't know if we've learned anything about X. Well, we learned who X Center was. So if you didn't know who they were, now you know. And favorite songs, I guess, is probably Medicine. We can both agree on that one. And I know a lot of fans will agree on that one as well. So leave us a comment, review, like, subscribe. We are on Podchaser as well. And we are everywhere that you can get podcasts. So turn us onto your friend, turn your friends onto us, and share this episode out there. Should I go? You know what? No, let's just go with our regular outro. Where are we here? There we go. So God bless and keep rocking, everybody. All right.